Hey, this is Ryan from Muscle Without Meltdown. Going to do another daily YAP session. I do apologize. I'm trying to get these out a little bit earlier in the day. I'm sure you guys can relate to this. It's just really hard for me to change my schedule. So I'm trying to walk this back a little bit every day, and hopefully I'll get to where I'm posting these somewhere between 8 and 10 on the West Coast every day. But for now, I know I've been a little late, and that's really my only excuse. It is so hard for me to do anything outside of the window in which it has already happened. But today I want to talk about cheat meals, cheat days, and how they are likely sabotaging your progress with your diet. And I say likely because really, in my experience, 100% of the time, it's ruined my diet. And most people I talk to or work with, same problem. Not only are they really hamstringing their success and not making much progress, a lot of times they're even going in the opposite direction because the cheating problem gets so bad. But first, let's look at the rationale behind the cheat meal or the cheat day. It's a psychological tool mainly because when you're on a calorie restricted diet and you don't know how to make foods that you enjoy, you're going to be kind of miserable and potentially dreaming about food that tastes good and fills you up. And the idea is that you can leverage your willpower, let's say throughout the week. And then when you're, finally going to break, you have your cheat meal and it's just enough to hold you over psychologically where you don't have further cheat meals. And you're able to just stay on your plan. You're able to adhere to your planned meals and your planned cheat meal. Now, in theory, that would be great. And some people can do that. I myself, typically, if I set up a free meal or a free day, I would just go off the rails. And I find that's a lot of people. And it's the analogy of when you're driving down the road and you get a flat tire. A sane person gets out and fixes the tire. But when you have diet brain and you feel restricted and that you've been denying yourself all this stuff, you will get out of the car and effectively pop the other three tires. You'll just essentially go off the rails in terms of diet. You'll completely sabotage yourself. It makes no sense. I don't know how the psychology works, even though I've lived through it many times, but it is a real phenomena. So for that reason, I don't recommend it to people to have cheat meals or cheat days. I think it creates a funky dynamic between yourself and food. And I really think someone like Greg Doucette, not that I endorse everything he puts out there, but as far as his philosophy behind eating and how it should be a lifestyle where you don't feel the need to cheat, that is 100% correct in my experience. And that's the only way I was finally able to kind of maintain a leaner physique in conjunction with doing more cardio. But it really came down to learning to make foods that I liked to where I didn't feel like I was ever deprived. So I never really went off the rails. So that's what I'd recommend to all of you. And I would just get rid of the notion of cheating altogether. In your mind, maybe frame it as a meal that's off your plan or a free meal or just a YOLO. But what I would do instead of, planning these things out, just especially for a neurodivergent person, I don't want to project onto you guys, but like for me, I have a very minimal social life. So maybe once a quarter, I'm going to be invited out to do something to where I might be tempted by some food. And I'm going to try to have a very sane intake of it. And that's a lot easier when you don't feel deprived. But even if I go a little bit over, it's so rare that I'm indulging that it doesn't really impact me that much, maybe other than the next day I look kind of all puffy, right? So that approach is definitely what I would recommend to you guys. I talk about it in my books, and there's lots of great YouTube channels about this, like Greg Doucette, Remington James. Not that I'm saying you have to eat that, quote unquote, anabolic low fat style, but definitely just find a way to make your food taste good. And you shouldn't be starving all day. If you're hungry and really going through hell, the diet is too extreme, and you're just going to have to take it slower unless you want to potentially sabotage yourself. Uh, yeah, I think that's all I got for you guys today. I'm going to hopefully make this movie. Hopefully, it is as good as it was when I saw it. I think I was in high school when I saw it last. Yeah. But I'll catch you guys tomorrow for another Yap. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you then.